story setting Ex Machina appears to take place in the not-too-distant future in a remote mountain retreat of a self-accomplished internet mogul, Nathan, played by Oscar Isaac, who we learn made his fortune off being math protege in his early teens and starting his own company, Blue Book. This company, we learn, has many overtones of the current Google empire. Story opens with a young, high-status, naivete, starstruck programmer, Caleb, played by Domhnall Gleeson, who finds himself winning a lottery of sorts established by the company's owner. The prize, an exclusive invitation into the belly of the beast, the owner's estate, a laboratory to see the company's far-reaching future projects. The viewer gets drawn into the story as Caleb gets dropped onto a remote field by a company helicopter and is given some cryptic instructions to reach his final destination. The genius CEO isolates himself in a remote undisclosed location whose real estate boundaries probably be on par with an entire country, which seem odd enough, but odder still is the fact that the entire dwelling is underground as we learn upon Caleb's arrival. Descending from the skies down in the depths of Nathan's extraordinary combination underground labyrinth laboratory and living quarters, resembling something on par with a postmodern hotel, and a sterile, secret, modern government complex, the layers of the onion begin to peel away. The dialogue is moderately thought-provoking, sagacious, and even somewhat calculated. There is a verbal dance of sorts between the naive young programmer and the Baroque company master. Story becomes increasingly more engaging as Caleb is introduced to Nathan's pet project of artificial intelligence. Exceeding infinitely more of Caleb's expectations is what appears to be the genesis of true AI or sentience. Enter Ava, a female prototype of android AI whose human feminine attributes are docile, delicate, and demure with a hint of deviance. Dialogue begins with a series of tests with which to determine Ava's capacity for sentience, compelling her opponent to believe in her humanness. From there, the story evolves into what appears to be a bond, but the story takes us down a few ambiguous twists and turns, almost to the point of being somewhat aimless, but herein lies perhaps some attempts to prompt the viewer into a more interpretive viewing mode. The minimalist artistic approach to the robotics and AI as opposed to flooding scenes with technical jargon, CGI, and a menagerie of other superfluous details was apparent as it appears the director took a somewhat more moralistic approach combined with calculated dialogue, creating tension between characters. The visceral overtones gave the picture a tad more of the intellectual feel, something which appears to be missing from a great deal of today's films. Another acute observation was that the tenor of the story, particularly towards the end, had somewhat of what I would refer to as elements of visceral feminism with respect to how the two primary characters resolve. The irony being that the script takes our primary character, who for most of the narrative is framed the hero. The plot takes an unexpected and, dare I say, heartless twist as the end of the story as a whole did not resolve itself well, in my opinion. There was little reconciliation, almost bringing the viewer backwards with respect to the proposition of artificial intelligence. Intentional, hard to say, but it always comes down to the storyteller's prerogative. What was the message here? Technology begets hatred of humanity. Technology breeds the God complex. I'm not entirely sure. One thing I am sure of, I felt the story could have used a little bit more breathing room and maybe have developed a little bit more. There could have been a little bit more character development, but budget constraints and so forth usually dictate how the story is to be encapsulated. That's my review of this sci-fi thriller Ex Machina. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.